from City Fan TV. Should we get the microphone in? Yay! The big microphone in. Guys, put this one side. Don't leave it right in front of me. We revel a little bit in some of the football we've seen already. Last night and earlier on today. And then get into the Manchester City team news for the game against Spurs today. Hi, guys. Hi, Haj. Dre says, need to keep the momentum. Got to lock Kane down and finish the chances that we have. Hi, Faris. So we've got 5 minutes before team news is out. And Faris, I'm expecting you to pull your weight tonight. Pull your weight and get me that team news up because I've not brought my phone with me. You guys are going to have to help me. Haj says, Kane is going to be the main threat. He gets the chance he won't miss. Hi, Prithvi. Hope you're well. Yeah, guys, on a high, we had the Manchester Derby last night. The women's team absolutely thrashed Man United's women's team by 3-0. We've gone above them in the table. We're 1 point ahead with a game in hand, if I'm right. We're 2 points behind Chelsea, something like that. 2 points behind Chelsea. Play the same number of games. We've got to play Chelsea towards the end of April. It's scheduled that when we play Chelsea, there'll be 2 games left in the season after that. So it could be winner takes all. Haj is expecting Gabby to start. Aguero's on the bench. I'll tell you that for free, guys. Aguero on the bench. And predicted yesterday, and as I predicted on Thursday, I said this would be easier than Liverpool season. Eric, now it's easy, man. Now it's easy. Faris says, don't forget Sonny's more lethal because of his pace. It won't be easy. I think it's going to be harder than Liverpool. Liverpool are on the way down. Spurs, okay, they lost against Everton, but attacking-wise, they're still up there. Would I start Walker? I'm reluctant to, but it all depends. How are we going to focus on us without any concern for them, or are we going to be more concerned about Spurs and the pace? Just going to do what we normally do. Zachary, how you doing? Not been on your channel for a while. I'm not Will. Nice to see your channel is growing a lot. Do you think Jesus starts? He's fit. I think it's 50-50. For me, I'd start him. If Pep said he's fit, if you're fit enough, I don't say fit is on the bench. Fit is ready to start. So I'll start him. I'll go Stones, Diaz, and Laporte as my back three. Liverpool in free fall. Not going to cry about that, Faris. But the funny thing is, you look at Liverpool. I mean, they could have won today. You could argue they should have won, or with the chances they had and everything else, they could have got something out of us. But hey, their luck is not with them. Luck is not with them right now. They're not as clinical as they have been, and they're getting punished for it. Spurs defence is leaking, says Hard. Well, it might not leak tonight. Walker in the back three, not a back four for me, says Dre. Pretty Walker, who wants Cancelo. Hart says Cancelo has to start. Mistaken you for saying, well, Zachary, come on. Is there anybody out there on YouTube as talking football as beautiful, as handsome as me? Make it even more handsome. Here we go, guys. A bit more sinister. Hopefully another 3 points, says Jan Ali. Absolutely. I heard Aguero with the squad. Yeah, Faris, I said he should be on the bench. Because if you think about it, in the last game we had Bernabé on the bench. Well, Bernabé was never going to play. And if you're going to have someone on the bench who's never going to play in the game, who's going to scare the opposition, and that's Sergio Aguero. So if Bernabé's not going to come on the pitch, why not have Sergio Aguero there, who probably won't come on the pitch, or maybe for 5 or 10 minutes at the end, who's going to scare the opposition to think, wow, Aguero's back. That's going to hurt. Drace is beating United every which way. Great result for the ladies. Guys, please watch that game. Watch the goal from Caroline Weir at the... You might say the other goals were the highest quality. You'd be right. They weren't the highest quality. But Caroline Weir's goal was incredible. Hard said, it says, I won't swarm the defence. I play it safe. Was open last game against Everton. That's why they conceded. And he said he won't let that happen again. And I believe him. Hey, Angus, good to see you here. I hope we bring down that bus, says Zachary. So, team news is that in a minute. We're waiting for Faris to give us that team news. On with Faris is the quickest man off the blocks. Quickest man off the blocks is Faris, giving us that team news. I'm just waiting. Guys, you know that Angelina's Jorin. We've got Edison, Cancelo, Stones, Laporte, Zinchenko, Rodrigo, Gundogan, Bernardo, Sterling, Foden, Jesus. As I would have started myself. On the bench, you have your man, Aguero. Diaz is on the bench too. So look at that. Cancelo's going to be right back. Stones and Laporte can play together because Diaz has slightly got that knock. What we've done, could we concede today because we've not got that wonderful partnership of Diaz and Laporte? Is anybody concerned? Is anybody bothered? Are you comfortable with that? And I'll go through the bench as well. I mean, I was sat here reading it. Let's go put it. I know Faris just put it. Thanks, Faris. You're a bit quicker than buddy. Well, I was reading it out. Aguero's back in the squad. Angelino. Yeah, Angelino's gone to RB Leipzig. I hear it was 16 million, quid, 80 million euros. Great goal, great win. Well done, ladies. Absolutely was, Dale. It was a great game last night. Anyway, let's look at that team again. Edison, Laporte, Cancelo at right back, Stones and Laporte at centre back, Zinchenko at left back, Rodrigo, DM, Gundogan ahead of him. I like that combination. Sterling, Foden, Jesus up front. Cannot argue with that. On the bench, we've got a lot of quality. We've got Zach Steffen. We've got Kyle Walker on the bench. Aguero, obviously. Torres, Mendy, Doyle. And it's good. It is good to see Doyle there. I mean, obviously, if Fernandinho was fit, we might not have seen Doyle. But it's interesting. Obviously, we know that Nathan Ake's still out. He's going to be out for a little while. Fernandinho's out and KDB is out. John Alice Laporte to step up. This is a chance to make a mark after being sidelined for a while. Yeah, you know, look, if we concede today, even if it's Stone's fault, people will blame Laporte and saying it's Laporte's fault for not being Ruben Diaz. Diaz must start for me. If he's not fit, don't put him on the bench. Dre, yeah, look, I'd have started with it. For me, if Diaz is fit, which is what Pep's saying, it's got to start for me. But he's gone with Laporte. It's not what I'd have done myself, but the way it is. But on the other hand, Diaz wasn't sick, Haj. I think he had a slight knock. Zinchenko's on the left, which I prefer Zinchenko on the left rather than Laporte. Zinchenko offers us a lot more going forward, and we will spend a lot of time, I think, going forwards. I hope. Prithvi says time for Laporte to prove himself. Angus is happy, chuffed, and pleased with the squad. Ben Mendes on the bench, says Haj. Haj is happy. Glad we aren't playing Mara, says Mr. Arik. Diaz was 6, says Haj. As I said, I think Diaz was had a slight knock. He only started training again on Friday, so you can understand why he's not included in the starting 11. Score predictions. I said 2-0 City. Honestly, it's just for me. Obviously, it's just about winning. It doesn't matter how. It's from now on. The performances don't matter. They do not matter one little bit. I just want us to win. That's it. Don't care. As I said, don't win the game. That's it. And keep that lead over United and everybody else. Obviously, let's look at the league table right now. After Leicester's win, Leicester 4 points behind us, but we've got 2 games in hand over there. We're only 5 points ahead of United. So, people think it's done and dusted because Liverpool are 10 points behind City. It ain't done and dusted. It is not done because Liverpool are 10 points behind us and we've got 2 games in hand. Look what's behind them, okay? Liverpool on 40 points. Chelsea on 39, 1 game in hand. They want Champions League. West Ham, surprisingly, they're 6th, 39 points. A game in hand over Liverpool. They want Champions League. They will keep fighting. Everton have got 3 games in hand over Liverpool. 3 points behind Liverpool. We are playing them on Wednesday away from home. They want to beat us. They want Champions League. They do want Champions League, and you can argue with the games in hand they've got. I mean, they've got 3 games in hand over Leicester. Yeah, if they win their 3 games in hand over Leicester, they're 1 point behind them. Everton wants something. Spurs, who you might have thought were dropping out of the title race. Well, they're out of the title race, but they're still in the top 4 race. They've got 2 games in hand over Liverpool and are 4 points behind. Yeah, they want to win that game. They win. If Spurs win today, for instance, they would go up to 5th, a point behind Liverpool and a game in hand. So Spurs want something. And then you got Villa. So Villa want something, so teams have got something to fight for. Even Leeds. I mean, this sounds crazy. Leeds are in 10th. 2 games in hand over Liverpool. They could be up to 38 points. So whoever we play, whenever we play them, even Arsenal, everybody wants to win. There's Champions League and places at stake right now. Teams want to win. Some of them will take a draw against City, but we're only, as I said, only 5 points clear of United. Yes, we got that game in hand, but look, after that massive success last week, if you go into this game and think we just need to turn up and win, I think casually like that, suddenly that game in hand is gone and you're only 5 points ahead. We've got to play United in a few weeks' time. We've got to play Everton in midweek. We've got Arsenal coming up, West Ham coming up. All these games, you could lose a game or get a draw, and suddenly, from being in a position where you're pretty comfortable, you're in a position where you're under pressure. And I don't want to be under pressure because I want to get to the latter part of the season not under pressure, so we can focus a little bit on maybe the Champions League, maybe the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I want to get towards the end of the season, the last month of the season. It would be fantastic if we have, say, getting to the end of April and the league is won, or we've got to win 2 games out of 6 to win the league. Something like that. That would be awesome, because then we can focus on the Carabao Cup, focus on the Champions League, focus on the FA Cup if we're still in there. Last time we lost because of Laporte, says Haj. Angus is going for 5-0. I think it's a bit greedy. As long as we win, it's all Gucci. Gucci. Gundogan with another brace Prithvi. I would love that. A lot of people captain Gundogan for the fantasy teams. A game. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. We were saying I play defensively. They need it more. We're 10 points ahead of the champions. However, we need to win more and more and more. Got to keep winning. Because here's the thing. Here's another thing. If we stagger over the line and finish with 80 points, people will say it's a poor season. If we can push and push and push, we're on 50 points with 16 games to go. I would love to win, but to be clear, so we're on 50 points now. We've got 16 games. I'd love to win, let's say, 12 of those games and draw 2. You're on 88 points. I think that's a good finish, even if you lost 2. 1, 12, drawn 2, lost 2, 88 points. If you can get to 90 points, no one can turn around. They can say whatever they like, that the season was poor and it was this and it was that. If you walk away with 90 points, 88, 90 points, no one can turn around and say you're a poor winner of the league. You're a good winner. Whoever wins it has to have obviously been consistent enough. If you get 90 points, that's a good number. A game that could easily be 2-0 against us or a 4-0 win in our favour. Absolutely, Dre. Our main opposition, it's not our position is ourselves. I don't like getting carried away too soon. Man United are our main threat on paper, says Haj. Pep versus Jose, says Mr. Eric. Spot on, says Angus. In 2 weeks, United have Chelsea and City away back-to-back, says Haj. Good for us. I see United dropping points, says Zachary, in both those games. Angus says the future is blue. League Cup final against Spurs on the 25th. Hi, Zohaib, hope you're well. Mr. Eric says, I think we'll beat Spurs 2-1. I'd love to get a clean sheet if we get a penalty. Our November loss to Spurs featured an unperforming KDB and Laporte centre-back. Our confidence was low. There was no Foden. Things have changed for Gundo, Cancelo and Rodri. Look, we had Cancelo and Gundogan and Rodri playing in those games, in that game against Spurs, but we're a much better side. I think we're harder to break down, harder to go through us, which is what Spurs did. And I remember talking about it before the game. Watch Kane dropping back into midfield and Son, who's got the pace, going through. That I felt was a risk, still a risk. It's there. They're going to do us on the break if they're going to do anything against us. And we've just got to make sure that we get ahead and control the game. Spurs' 2 options are to get an early goal and hang on, or to hang on and get a goal in the second half. That's all they're really going for. Mark says, DSR, well, he's injured, he's back. For me, he'll be fit for the next game against Everton, and hopefully he'll be back in the side with Stones for that game. Obviously, he's costing me fantasy football points. I ain't happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all, because the fantasy team is going to get battered by not having Diaz. Diaz is an important component in people's fantasy teams because it's a 2-game week for City, Burnley, Everton and is it Crystal Palace are playing twice? No. Fulham. So it's a 2-game week, and losing Diaz is a big blow if you're looking at that. But good to have you on, Bolt from the Blue. Zohib says I don't know talk Liverpool anymore. They are finished. Molloy. Centre backs are still quality. We're in the form of our lives. We won't crumble because Diaz isn't starting. Well said. Never ever disrespect my manager, Pep. Well, earlier in the season, you had to question him. And people coming out and saying, well, people question him in the early season. Are they mad? Are you mad? Well, I think it was only right to question what was going on because we were struggling. Nothing wrong with that. Angus says, let's hope VAR doesn't ruin this game, Mark. He's out on the bench. He's out. That's it. He's on the bench. So Hib says, do you think we're more of a threat because Pep has changed the balance of the team, or it's because our concentration is better? I think it's a combination of things. What Pep did initially, he made us hard to beat. Okay? He made us hard to beat. Now we had to beat. We had that, not just concentration. We had Cancelo knowing his role, fitting in nicely. And obviously, we had wonderful partnership between Diaz and Stones, then Rodri in front of them. Edison playing reasonably well. And all that, and then that would provided a solidity, and then we were focused on attack. And you got to remember, we had a lot of injuries. Jesus wasn't playing, Foden was in and out, Torres was playing games. And when you think about it, as much as I like Torres and as I think he's going to be a very, very good player, he wasn't doing it enough in enough games. He was too in and out of them. And now, look at that front line. You'd be chuffed to have Foden on the left playing form of his life. Sterling on the right. That's the way it's going to work. That's what I love. Sterling much more dangerous, I believe, on the right. And then you've got Jesus. I think that's how it's going to work. I think it's very good. And then we've got Gundogan and Bernardo mixing it around as attacking midfielders. So I like that element. Lots of things have improved as a Hib, and it's all happening together. And when it's like Hannibal. Do you remember Hannibal Smith? I love it when a plan comes together. Hi, Akash. Hope you Foden and Cancelo in your fantasy team. Well, you'll get some points today, hopefully. Prithvi, you've given up. Well, I've pretty much given up mine as well, Prithvi. I made so many bad decisions. I pretty much give up. I watch my son who's playing. He started 1 week. Never. They will eventually open up because they need it. We can control the game. Well, do you really think Spurs need to win? It helps them. But if Spurs get a draw out of this game, think about it. They've got a goal difference of 14. They get a draw out of this. They're on 23 games, 37 points. They can jump Liverpool they go above Liverpool if they draw today and win their game in hand. Would Spurs take that? Okay. I expect Liverpool to drop out of the top 4 this weekend. I expect Chelsea. You've got teams that can overtake Liverpool this weekend, Chelsea and West Ham. They can overtake Liverpool this weekend. So, and Spurs can get close. Villa can get close. But Spurs, if you offer them a draw now, they would take it. They would absolutely take that all day long. So they don't need to win. They'll be happy with the draw. Mike says, we're lucky they probably will not have Reguilon and Aurier. They're important outlets. Absolutely. But look, it's a danger to underestimate a team. And Pep said in the press conference, because he was asked, they played 120 minutes of football. It's not just the physical energy, how tired you are and everything else, how fatigued you are. Your muscles are fatigued. Your brain is fatigued. You're tired from all that concentration and working hard. And on top of all that, you're emotionally fatigued. You just played in a game in the FA Cup, oldest cup competition in the world, and you've lost it by 5-4. You will be deflated, finishing late up in Liverpool. As I said in one of the previews, you come out to your coach, your hubcaps on the coach have been nicked, and then you got to go back down to London. So, you're getting home in the early hours of Thursday morning. You're going to get back to bed 4 o'clock, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Probably flew back. But even if you're flying back, you're looking at an hour. So you're not going to get back to wherever you go in Heathrow or Luton or Stansted or whatever till 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, then you're going to get home. So you're looking at 2, 3 o'clock before you even get into bed. And then you've only got 2 days before the next game. It's difficult. So people, and Pep said, look, I don't know what's... And if he's expecting, and that's the way it should be. Do not underestimate them, because look, they're on the floor right now after losing that game, but they might rise up. They might bounce back. So we don't want them to bounce back against us. Mr. Eric says Laporte is a class player, so I do trust him. You're having a laugh with him, guys. If you're new to the channel, please also to go over 3,200 today. If Sadio Hussein, who's a new guy, if you subscribe, it would be fantastic. Let's get up to 4,000 before the end of the season, guys. Stick with us. Some people tell us it's the best Man City fan channel out there, and certainly, I think if you're working on your if you're working on your own, it's probably putting out the most content. I mean, look what you've had in the last few days. 2 Spurs previews you had yesterday. You had the Man United women's game preview yesterday. You had the team news for the live team news for the women's derby yesterday. You had Pep's press conference yesterday. Was it 5 videos yesterday? 5 videos, and then you'll have at least 2, maybe 3 today. I'll probably check the Borussia Dortmund video out tomorrow, which I've been sat on for a week. Tons of stuff, guys, and then I'm ready for the Everton game. We've got the Arsenal game next weekend. I've got people queuing up to do. I think I've got 3 or 4 videos to do, with people asking me to go on their channels, tons of stuff. So it's probably, I don't know what else is out there. I don't know if we put out more content than Manchester City, the official YouTube channel of the club, but we put out a stack of content, and I'm sure in that content you'll find something that appeals to you. Farry says this is a test for Laporte. This hi, Sadio has Sadio Hassan. Edison for penalties says bolt from the blue. I'll tell you what, if Edison does, we joke about it, but if he does start taking penalties, you've got to have him in your fantasy team, because he'll probably get 3 or 4 penalties a season. And he's going to be blown out the water. Angus says, what do you think of the tweet I sent of Alison? Oh, the Alison, have you seen the picture of Alison Becker with Carrierson Becker? Oh, come on, guys, you've got to behave. Farris says, I wouldn't be surprised if we get penalty because their defence is rash. Edison for penalty says, bolt from the blue. Did you buy a new microphone? No, this is the one I've had for over a year. This blue one, because, Andy didn't give me my Yeti microphone. So I've had this. I don't actually put it on normally because it's so good. You can set it so that it only picks up the sound from a certain direction. So I don't even need it on the screen. Don't need it, and it's phallic symbol on the screen. I can keep it to one side, and it picks up the sound very, very well. Why do they make Sterling captain though? Seniority, I suppose. Has he been there the longest out of the team guys that are playing? Probably. Spurs aren't playing the strongest 11. I haven't looked. Let's have a look. Loris, Diaz, Tanganga, Sanchez, Davis, Højbjerg, Lamela, Son, Lucas, and Ndombele and Kane. Well, where they're expecting to do good stuff is with Son and his pace, Lamela, Lucas. He's got a ton of pace, and Ndombele and Kane and Højbjerg. That's where I think they're hoping to do the business. Does a back line of Dyer, Tanganga, Sanchez, and Davis, does that frighten you? It should frighten Spurs fans because they're worried about Eric Dyer. They said he has been dire. He's not been very good. Tanganga, young kid. Sanchez not been playing so well. Although he scored a couple of goals last game. And Davis and Lloris isn't infallible. He'll make a mistake or two. So, it's good. And they don't have Aurier, Alderweireld, Reguilon, and Sissoko. I think Sissoko's he's shown decent form. Aurier is just very rash. Alderweireld, it's probably good not to have him because I think he's pretty solid. And Bergwijn, Bergwijn, he scored against us on his debut last season. Was it his debut? Anyway, this is the one game in opposition I actually fear from, says Hassan. To me, it's Liverpool. Liverpool, then Spurs. I think, because I don't fear anybody. Even if you lose to United, I don't fear them. And, come on, calm down with this Edison for penalties, man. You'll get a timeout for 5 minutes. I really missed the pass Park the bus, Man United. Park the bus, I say. Park the bus, Man United. Playing football. Can you do that with Spurs? Park the bus, it doesn't work. Park the bus, Tottenham Hotspur. Park the bus, I say. Park the bus, Tottenham Hotspur. Playing football, Mourinho way. Oh, well, I can't sing. My lad had a go at me today. He said, "You're out of tune." Well, there you are. Did you think of the Liverpool score? I love the Liverpool score. 3-1. Liverpool lost today. I hope they're leggy after the FA Cup game. Remember to subscribe. Cheers, guys. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Now. And even if you're not a member, the memberships are quite cheap, I think, and all the videos are out, within a few. From Fluminense, I don't think so. Bolt from the blue. I need, to be honest, I've got loads of videos waiting to come out or waiting to be filmed, and the cakey one, I need someone to give me better. Someone with some knowledge of the kid. I'll ask around. That might happen next week. Bill is on the bench. Bill is a disappointment. I've heard that. JRX wanted Diaz to start. I think he's just come back from injury, so I understand that. Why he's not. But now that he's and we should not feel Liverpool anymore. I do feel Liverpool. You've got to feel them because they've had our numbers so often. So I will still fear them until we beat them 3 or 4 times on the bounce. Then I'll say, yeah, if we go to Anfield next season with fans, beat them, then I'll say, yeah, my fear for them will decrease. Jarek says, I was on, but not against us. A player we should have. We're not going to get him. He's going to be 80 to 100 million quid. I just can't see in that sort of money. I just can't see Daniel Levy letting him go unless it's a financial issue. Cheshire Umber, how are you doing, buddy? I prefer Walker right back today for his pace. Yeah, but I understand that. But overall, we are focused on us. We're focused on going forward. We're going to have most of the ball, hopefully, and we want someone else in midfield to help, an extra body to help be creative. Watford winning 6-0 against Bristol City. Wow. It's a big score, that. Zachary says, Cancelo right back is more than fine. Have you seen his heat map this season? Amazing. Oh, yeah, look. I think one thing, Zachary, the one thing that Cancelo doesn't give you is pace and the love of physicality, that Walker gives you. But Cancelo brings so much more forward, and he's not a bad defender. That game against Villa, I think it was a Villa game where they were breaking, and he was the last man. He came across, he recovered the ball, and actually went forward and put a good cross in that was just headed over. So, I like what he's doing. I just hope he can keep doing it. Pharisees, when was the last time Edison had a horrible game like Alisson? Last time was Man United last season before COVID. He hasn't been as bad as Alisson in the last season. He's made mistakes. Don't get me wrong. He's made mistakes. But this is one of the things, Faris. We've seen Alisson make 2 mistakes last game, which cost a goal. A mistake today, which cost a goal. Yeah. If he'd got away, I bet you half a dozen mistakes he's made that could have led to a goal, we've forgotten. And the same reason, we forget his mistakes. There was that mistake when Edison came out, and instead of launching the ball down the pitch, he coolly took it past one man, and then in doing so, he knocked the ball too far away, and then he went and brought somebody down and got a yellow card. So it is very, you need to look at a little bit more. Edison's made mistakes. He has a problem with. I don't think he's as good a shot stopper as Alisson, but he's a far better player with his feet. And as I said, we forget the mistakes that don't lead to goals. Hi, Adam. Hope you're well, buddy. How come Ruben Diaz isn't starting? Well, Adam, he's been out with a slight knock, and he only started training again on Friday, I believe. So he's 100%. He'll be on the bench, and he might come off the bench later in the game, but he'll be ready for Everton midweek. I can't remember him making a mistake that just ended a game for us as far as. Oh yeah, look, I don't think it's not been in a while. I'll give you that. Mike says players you would want from Spurs. Son, hope he'll get this get sick of the mediocrity chances. One of the problems, Son loves living in London. He loves playing with Harry Kane. He loves being at Spurs, big city and all that. But he's not going to win much. Now, I think it's going to depend on a few things. It depends. Do Spurs get in the top 4? That's going to have an impact. Do Spurs win the Carabao Cup? That's going to have an impact. Spurs lose the Carabao Cup, finish 6th or 7th in the league, which is eminently possible. Then Son and Kane will look at their position. Son knows if he doesn't move now, he's 28, where he was competing in the Champions League season in, season out, where he's been competing to win the big trophies. If, as I said, to win the Carabao Cup this season, finishing the top 4, he'll sign an extension in the summer. I'm pretty sure of that. But if he gets, if they don't win the Carabao Cup, they finish 7th. Even if they miss the Europa League, then I think that's, you know, he wants to leave, even though his contract is up to, I think it's 2023. Something. Would he? You know, look, it's the dice is in Levy's hand, or the dice in Levy's hands because of that long contract. Now, is Son going to push the boat? Is he going to rock the boat? If Levy wants 120 million, no one's paying that. City might go to 60, 70, even 80 million. They're not going to 120 million. Absolutely no chance. Maybe the red card against Wolves. Look, there have been mistakes from Edison. He's got away with them because unless people score. Full-time, Palace have lost 3-0 at home to Burnley. If I'm just going to check that because that would be a fantastic result for Burnley. As I said to my Burnley mate, Dan, I said you will climb the league. Burnley comfortably climbing the league now. You know, they had a really poor start and they're motoring. They're going places in that league. They, according to this table on the BBC, if that's is it up to date, played 15, 23 games. Sorry, they're in 15th, played 23, 26 points. In fact, they're one position behind Southampton, who are on 20. Oh, sorry, one position, one win away from Southampton, who started really, really well. And it's fab news because he says, hopefully, I've got 3 Burnley fantasy team. I took a risk. This week. I've got Pope, me, and Tarkowski in my team. They've got me 19 points already. I'm just going to see if I get a little bonus out of one of them. I got 19 points. Pope gets me a bonus. 20 points from those 3 players. I'm dead sure. I know someone I know has got Lawton, so he's going to be even more chuffed because Lawton's going to bring them. I think Lawton gets him 15 points, but I got 20 points out of those 3 players. I'm chuffed, and they've got to play Fulham in the week, so it's a great start for me. And I had more Salah, so whatever happens, I'm on 26 points. I'm really happy because I know the guys in my small league are above me haven't got that many players. I think I'm going to look at my lads. See what I don't think he's got any Burnley players, so he's going to hate for that. He went instead of going for defenders from Burnley, he went with James Rodriguez. Even though I thought, I don't know, I think that's a bit of a risk. I'd have swapped. He had Justin who got injured, so I'd have taken Justin out and put a Burnley defender in. Anybody who's took the risk, I think he'd already made his moves. So anybody took a risk and give yourself use an extra substitution to put a Burnley defender in, you're already in credit there. So anyway, fantastic news for Burnley. News for my fantasy team. Still not going to do me a lot of good, but hey, a little bit better. See you, Angus. Take care, buddy. Right, let's do the last few minutes, guys. Alisson is a slightly better shot stopper overall and more balanced as Edison. Yeah, I'll agree overall. But let's be honest, Faris, we see Edison play week in, week out. We don't see every game Liverpool play. Zohaib says Son always steps up against us. Son is Laporte's nightmare, says Faris. Would you rather have Son or Salah? That's a tough one. I think Son is more of a team player. Hopefully we can get the 3 points out of my hope. So Faris says Son for me doesn't just bring goals, he brings so much more. That Salah's advantage is just goal scoring. Zohaib, Salah all day long. Son hasn't won anything though, says Zohaib. He plays at Spurs, that's why. Bolt from the blue, Foden better at number 8 or replacing Mahrez on the right, on Sterling on the left. No. For me, you can have either, and that's a good thing, have Foden on the left or the right, and Sterling on the left or the right. For me, I'd start the game with Foden on the left, Sterling on the right, because I think Sterling can do a lot more damage on the right than on the left. Foden can do it on either wing. I saw Foden play at Wembley, 1st of March, against Villa in the Carabao Cup final. He had a good game, had a very good game. And then we saw him play against United in the league a few days later, playing on the right, and he had a very poor game. But he's another level now. He's another level of excellence and consistency. Prithvi says, would love to see Burnley stay in the Premier League to training sessions every season. They will stay. They will. Mark, no one, a West Ham fan here. Come on, City, do the sports today. Absolutely. I've got to be honest. Most fans I speak to say, if they want anybody to win the league and it's not their team, it's always City. If they've got a choice between Man United, Liverpool, and City, it's City. Very rarely do I get anybody saying anything else than City. And West Ham doing really well this season. It sat there in 6th position. 6th, West Ham. A game in hand over Liverpool. If West Ham win this weekend, they will go above Liverpool. If Chelsea win, they will go above Liverpool. Can you imagine that Liverpool could be down in 6th position at the end of this weekend? I'll be honest, guys, all day long. Seriously loving that all day long. So let's have a look through some more comments, guys. Who makes way when KDB returns? Bolt from the blue. That's a tough one. When is KDB back? Well, he's training. I suspect I'm looking at the end of the month. Yeah. Now he might weekend when we're playing. You can't remember. We got Everton. We've got Everton in midweek. It's really bad when you know it and then you forget it. Who are we playing? We got Everton in midweek. Now I don't think he'll be available. I think he might be on the bench for Everton. Okay, but I don't even think that. We got Arsenal. That's it. Arsenal next weekend. Then Borussia Mönchengladbach and then West Ham. Big game against West Ham on the 27th of Feb. So how do I see it? KDB, he still, in my opinion, will need a couple of weeks. 10 days, couple of weeks. So I'm honestly looking at the end of the month. But there's nothing to stop him being on the bench against Borussia Mönchengladbach. And the same reasons Aguero's on the bench. Now, is Aguero fit? Aguero's not fit enough to start. But I think he will frighten the Spurs players that Aguero's back. They're worried about that. And I think KDB has the same effect. But I wouldn't be rushing him back. The same way I've said I wouldn't be rushing Aguero to start games. I'd be, for the rest of this month at least, and maybe in March, looking at Aguero as a super sub. And maybe when KDB comes back, he is a super sub for the first couple of games. Why rock the boat? Because as soon as you put KDB in, you've got to drop possibly Bernardo Silva or move Bernardo Silva to a new position. I'm liking what Bernardo Silva and Ilkay Gundogan are doing in the combination as attacking midfielders. And you'll disrupt that. Now, if you disrupt that in March, I'll just say, I mean, if we're lucky enough to beat Everton, Arsenal, Spurs, and West Ham, and Man United, then I think we've won the league. Then it doesn't matter what you do in the league. Honestly, it will. If we win all our games in Feb the way we did in January, then I think we would be in a very strong position because we would be 11 points ahead of United, and I don't think they're coming back with 12 games left in the season. So, for me, it's just get your heads down. Don't rock the boat. Don't mess it around and try and squeeze players back in when the team is doing so well. Son won the highest marks in military training for South Korea, says GRX. I don't get why people hate City. They're assaulted. Well, most fans don't hate City. Most fans. You get some that you see on social media, they've got to hate on City. A lot of them got to hate on City. Was it that True Geordie guy? They got to hate on City because it generates drama. It generates people to come to their side. If I was here 24/7 slagging United and Liverpool, I'd get some United and Liverpool fans eventually coming on to have their say, to have a go at me. And I'm sure he relies on that drama, that controversy to get people in, to get the clicks and to make some money. That's what they're after. So, I'm not sure how true all that is. Abu Khalid Ali, hope you're well, but it cannot replace Sterling in this top match. Jesus is replaceable. Amara's only. Well, Jesus is down the middle, Sterling on the right for me, and Foden on the left. Yep, that's why I said, Abu, I'd leave KDB till March. Do you think it all depends on Paris? It really does. If you're winning 1-0, I don't see why you bring him on. Okay, if Jesus is playing well. If you're winning 3-0 with 10 minutes to go, I can see Aguero coming on and having a run around. Is there any point? A little bit. You know, maybe 5 minutes at the end. But there's no point rushing him, getting him injured, and all that business. And if, as I said, if it's tight and it's in our favour, then I don't see the need to bring Aguero on if he's not going to work as hard as Gabby. Halftime stream, Faris. I'll see. I can't guarantee it, but you'll know if it's coming up because I'll put. Obviously, you'll get the notification if I do a halftime stream. I haven't decided yet. How many players do you think we'll get this summer? No ideas are here, honestly. I think we need a striker. I think we need an attacking midfielder. Or, you know, that could simply be we get Messi and Haaland and stop there. If we got Messi and Haaland this summer, I think most of us would be really happy if Fernandinho stays. If Fernandinho goes, then I want another DM. Apart from that, a left-back would be nice. Angelino's gone. If Mendy leaves, you know, if, for instance, that would work for me. A left-back, Mendy leaving and we getting a left-back, getting a DM if Fernandinho goes, getting an attacking midfielder, that could be Messi, and a striker in Haaland. Really, really happy. How many players is at this time? KDB or Aguero would hurt Man City's progress, in my opinion, says Abu Khalid Ali. My opinion will make them slower. KDB should be taking his full rest. Oh, absolutely. As I said, for me, I was expecting Aguero to be ready to start games at the end of the month and KDB. So I'm not rushing it. I'm not rushing it at all. Mike says, nice from Mourinho talking about Pep's mom. Relationship seems to have thawed. I think sometimes you've got to be, it's just whether you like him or not and whether you want to have a go at him or not, you've got to be polite and be kind. The way to go. Zohaib wants a striker, left back, DM, and central attacking midfielder, maybe a winger. To be honest, Zohaib, if you get Haaland and Messi, you're not going to be looking for any other attackers. You don't need an attacking midfielder or a striker then. If you get those two and then a DM and left back, that, as I said, it depends. If Fernandinho stays, we're not desperate for a DM. If Fernandinho stays, if he goes, then yes, you need a DM, a defensive-minded DM. Whether you get Douglas Luiz back, whether you go for Dennis Zakaria, whether you go for Ismail Benassa, don't know. But that would probably do me. Twitter guys have always like to have a quick look at what people's opinions are. Let's have a look. Oops. Let's have a look. Look. Yeah. Just looking at these comments. Yeah, we haven't look as much as we want to make fun of Liverpool and stuff like that, guys. Look, you know, I've seen a little bit of the interview, post-match interview with Klopp. A few people have made their comment, and look, you know, we've got to keep it civil. We've got to keep it sensible. We've got to keep it fair. And we've got to be decent people. You know, whatever happens, okay. And you know, he does look unhappy. Look, his mother died a few weeks ago. He couldn't go to the funeral on Tuesday. He's suffering, okay. So he is suffering. So, guys, you know, we've got to, you know, I'm not going to try and have a pop at him. We've just got to be sensible people. Just remember that when you know, as I said, I'll have a pop at Liverpool fans and stuff like that, but I'll try. I will refrain for a week or two from having a go at Klopp. Zinchenko to stay? Absolutely, bolt from the blue. He's proven his worth. He's first choice left back. After, if Cancelo's playing up right back, then Zinchenko's first choice left back. If we got somebody else, David Alaba looks unlikely. But if we got somebody else at left back as first choice, Zinchenko would be second choice. He's happy with that. Faris says, I think we should extend for Fern. It's a better and cheaper option to do rather than buy a new one who would cost us and doesn't have the experience and leadership. Absolutely, Faris. That's why I said never let Fernandinho go. And it would be fantastic Really would if we said, Fernandinho, become a player coach. Please become a player coach. We'll give you another contract. That would be awesome. And then you can play a few games. You don't need to get somebody else. And if you do get somebody else, he's still in the wings. He's still available. So while somebody else is learning games, a few minutes in Carabao Cups and FA Cups and EC League games, Fernandinho is there as an extra body if you need him. Faris says, I do feel sorry for him now. He must be going crazy and so depressed that his team isn't doing well and he has already had major personal problems. Okay, well, here's the thing, guys. Okay. I only found out recently, but his mother passed away. You've got to bear with me now, and it's important. Yes, it's great when your rivals lose, make fun of them and blah blah blah. And yeah, it's fab. Okay, but let's look how he suffered. Okay, now his mother passed away on the 13th of January, and she'd been ill for a while, but I don't know how long. Since the 13th of January, they drew with United 0-0. That was on the 17th. So she passed away 4 days before that game. Then on the 21st, they lost at home to Burnley. Okay. Then in the FA Cup, they lost to United. Then beat Spurs, but then they beat West Ham. We thought they were coming back. Then they lost to Brighton and they lost to City. Now, the funeral was on Tuesday, which is the what's today? Saturday. So that's 5 days ago. The funeral was on the 9th, 2 days after the game against City. And he knew, I guess, he knew he wasn't going to the funeral in 2 days' time. Just think about that. It's an extremely tough time, a really tough time. And trust me, he'll be as as you can go. He will. So guys, got people slack. You got to do that. Is Brian Kidd still at City? Not seen him. Yes, he is. He is still at City. I suspect it's a combination of things. Maybe his age. They don't want him around. Maybe Angus is back. But he is there. And obviously we don't see a lot of the backroom staff as much now. Faris, apparently she passed away on the 13th of January. 13th of January. And the funeral was on the 9th of February. So I don't know any of the story, don't know the details, but and if she'd been ill for a little while, maybe he knew she was going to pass away on the a few days before she did. And all this time, and he knew coming up to the 9th of Feb, he wasn't going to be able to go to the funeral. That is emotionally draining, emotionally troublesome, and I can understand sometimes a little bit of anger, a little bit of lost focus. You'd have liked his players to step up. You'd have liked the players to step up for him. They haven't really done that. Sharjah and Ahmed, come on, City. Yep, that's it. Guys, as we wind down, we are 17 minutes from kickoff. If you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Always nice. It is always nice to be liked. It's really... we used to, on this channel, we used to get a lot of likes not too long ago. It's just gone a little bit quiet. I think people to come on as much as they used to. 13 likes I think we've had tonight. It's hard for people to come on because some people have walked away from footy. They're not enjoying it the way they used to. It is what it is. If you want to see any little bits of previews, we've got 2 Tottenham previews out, guys. One with the lads from We Are Tottenham TV, and then I did another one with a guy called Luke from or something. So there's 2 Tottenham previews if you want to go and check them out. You've still got, if you want to listen to what Pep said in his press conference, that video is out for you to watch as well. And Jenny's review of the game against Man United, the women's match, that's out there as well. Mr. Eric Porklop. Forest, there are frauds that I don't like him, so I just like Trent. Yeah, he's not been doing very well. Thanks, Angus. JRX is very sad about Klopp. We must all have compassion in these crazy times. Come on, City, to be honest, not worried about anymore about after Anfield win. Yeah, JRX, I just want to win. I just want to win because let's be honest, it's lost 2-0 and we've drawn 2-2, lost 2-0, lost 2-0. So I don't want to lose again. I want to get back to winning ways against Spurs. Right, might come around at half time. It depends how I feel, but definitely at full time, guys. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the game. Yep, hopefully. Come on, City. Let's keep this run